the product opportunity explorer is probably a great way to validate that. So if you click into different niches and say, okay, again, because this is looking at groupings of shopper searches, you can say, okay, when shoppers are looking sort of, with this in purchase intent, are they clicking on any products that are at a higher price point? So here I'm looking at the niche baby blanket. So I can see that the top click share product by far has an average selling price of $11.04. Again, they're looking at a 360-day average. Then I'm seeing another low price point, $9.59, $10.92. Then I see a $14. So, it's kind of within that, between 11 less than $15. But then I zoom down, probably 5 or 6 points, and I see, well, there's actually two products that are selling at an average of $22.49 and an average of $23.82. That's very interesting to me. They're within the top share of product clicks, and they're doing something that is causing shoppers, one, to click, and then ideally, most likely purchase. You can also see their average bestseller ranking as well. So if I validate that against their average bestseller ranking, I can say, okay, not only do they have a higher price point, they have a high click share, but then they also are doing really well in terms of where they're ranking in the bestsellers. And so you can use this again to validate that those niches contain consumers that are interested in purchasing maybe a more high value product. But then you can also go look at your competition. So I'm not looking at the cheapo $8 ones. I'm not looking at the $10 ones. I'm saying, okay, I want to go and evaluate those particular products that are selling at that high price point, that are able to have that accelerated sales, that I can again validate through their bestseller ranking and their click share. And then I can go see what they're doing and see if there's anything within there that I can replicate, or maybe ideally a couple things that they've missed that I can then add, to my product listing somewhere. So that can be very helpful, especially in times like this where it seems like everybody is hurting in terms of profits, and like we really want to be able to raise prices, but we're worried that that's going to hurt our sales velocity. This can be a way to sort of say, do I think I can get away with it, or what changes can I make? What improvements can I make to, kind of still appeal to the market if my price point's higher?
Yeah. So, okay, a couple of things there. So click share is one thing, but the purchase from that click is another. How do you factor that into the whole thought process? Because when you are looking at, so again, for our, in audio, it can be a little bit tough to follow, but if you go to Product Opportunity Explorer and just pick any niche, and ideally your ASINs, one of the niches that your ASIN belongs to, Amazon will automatically show that, and just click on the niche. Right at the top, you have big numbers. They show like a dashboard kind of thing. And then right underneath, you have multiple tabs. The first tab is the products, and that shows you the top clicked products. So that big number in the dashboard that you see as number of top click products, they are listed right underneath in the product tab. And then there is a tab called search terms. If you click that, then you see all the search terms that were used that produced that performance. So what you were talking about in the products tab, you can see it's listed in the order of click share. So which listings got the most clicks? So you were talking about, and right next to it, there is the average selling price. So first of all, right at the top in the dashboard, you can see the average price across top click products.
Yeah.
And then what I heard you say is, if your price is higher than the average and you're getting a high click share, that tells you that you can, in fact, sell a higher ticket item and still get more clicks. So my question is, what if those clicks are not yielding as much revenue?
Yes,
So
no,
how do you
that's
factor that into that?
yes. So what you can look at is there's another column further to the right. Now, to your point, I know they're getting good click share. Is all of that click share translating into sales, right? It's just because they're getting clicks doesn't mean they're selling well. So
Right.
what you can look at is the average bestseller rank, or essentially BSR. So you can validate that they have a low BSR, and we can all assume, based on how we understand that BSR works, is the more you sell in that particular category, the lower your BSR is going to be. So if you can validate that they have a high click share and they have a good BSR in that average bestseller rank, then you can infer that they are in fact making a good volume of sales.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's fascinating this conversation. Would you believe we've been talking an hour?
Hopefully the audience hasn't gotten bored. I apologize.
No. I mean, listen, this we can go on forever. I mean, there's a lot more questions that I have here, and we haven't even started yet on the trends.